My name is Ekaterina, and I'm qualified lawyer in Russia and qualified solicitor in UK, and recently I have passed QLTS assessments from the first attempt. I have graduated at Moscow State University as a lawyer, civil law department, and my career start was as a legal consultant at an international law firm, and where I was dealing with corporate matters and mergers and acquisitions. Later, I developed an interest in also legal financial matters and banking issues, so I graduated the program Master in Science in Law and Finance from Queen Mary University of London. And later, I developed my career by moving into in-house position with the International Bank. I wanted to take the QLTS exam because both when working with the mergers and acquisitions and working as a banking lawyer, I worked with market standard documentation, which was under English law. So for me, it was crucial to understand the concepts embedded into the documentation and to be able to deal with them. And so taking the exam really fitted that aim. For me, it was very important that the external advice would describe for me what is the scope of the learning material, and also somebody external expert to assess my progress with the both theoretical and practical skills. So for me, what was important in the preparation course when choosing one is who is preparing the learning materials and the tutors. For QLTS School, the tutors are authors of legal practice textbooks for LPC, QLTT, and even the Solicitors Regulation Authority external examiner. For the first part, MCT assessment, my experience was very convenient because I knew from the beginning the scope of the learning material and also the amount of tests that I needed to undertake. So it was really easy to divide my time for preparation and then to leave some time for revision. For the second part, OSCE assessment, the help of the tutor was really very appreciated because the tutor gave me the important personal feedback based on my progress, but also advised which areas to cover as a revision. So it really saved my time. The most beneficial aspect in the preparation course was its flexibility. For the first part, MCT assessment preparation, you can choose for yourself whether you want also the access to the online video bank in case you prefer to look at the schemes and listen to the explanations while getting the material. And also you can pick for the personalized study plan and the personal feedback from the tutor. For the second part, OSCE assessments, you can choose the number of practical assessments that you want to undertake, depending on your confidence and depending on the speed of the material grasping. For the assessment preparation, while I was preparing, I was working full-time, so I had about 1 hour during the weekdays when commuting, about 3 to 4 hours in the evening on the weekdays, and about 5 to 6 hours on the weekends. In general, I try to study as much as possible with some reasonable relaxation breaks, and it took me about 12 months to prepare for the MCT assessment and about 10 months to prepare for the OSCE assessment. For the first assessment, MCT assessment, I felt rather prepared because I knew the scope of material, it was clear to me, and also I practiced enough and I knew the timing constraints and about the time that the question is required to be answered. So I felt rather confident. For the second part, the OSCE assessment, it was more, I would say, obscure to me because, first of all, practical and theoretical skills are tested. So it is very difficult to assess yourself whether you are enough persuasive or can be trusted by from the point of view of the third person. So I just thought that I did everything I could, and then the assessors should get to the decision whether I'm prepared or not. Currently, I am a senior legal officer at an international bank, and I'm dealing with syndicated lending, derivatives transactions, and trade finance transactions. Because I'm a lawyer coming from the civil law background, for me it was really important to get also the common law qualification, because it allows you to look at the legal matters from both points of view, and of course it enhances the perspective of the lawyer. Also, when I was working with the market standard documentation, the fact that I can understand the concepts under English law and deal with them is of course more efficient in the market, and the employers really want that one. I believe the special preparation course is essential because the outcome of the assessment does not solely depend on your theoretical background, but also on your practical skills. For the first part, it is the timing practical skill that you need to take into account and to practice a lot, because it is a limited time that you need to answer the questions. For the second part, both theoretical and practical skills are assessed. Therefore, it is really vital to practice with a tutor and to receive a feedback about your progress in both parts, both theoretical and practical. Of course, such an advice would largely depend on the background and experience of the person, but as a general advice, I would say that the person should start preparing as soon as possible, leaving as much time before the assessment as possible, because sometimes the studies are going slower and you will need a revision time before the assessment, because some of the concepts can be only grasped with the second or third attempt when you're understanding the material, and also the whole structure will only be visible when you understand all the supplements and structural parts of the scheme. I would recommend QLTS with all the lawyers working with standard market documentation under English law, as well as the lawyers thinking about international career in the international market. I believe to be an effective modern lawyer today, you will need the ability to orientate quickly in the ongoing changes, also in the legislation, also in the practical circumstances, and to be able to look with a perspective at those changes, to be able to advise the client the best possible solution for the difficult situation.